You know what nobody tells you when you first start trading? You're about to walk through hell. And I'm not being dramatic here. I've been there. I've lost everything. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And each time, I thought I knew what I was doing. See, most traders quit before they ever reach profitability. They throw in the towel somewhere between stage 2 and 3. They think they're broken. They think the market's rigged. They think they just don't have what it takes. But here's the truth. Every single profitable trader you admire has walked through these exact same stages. Every single one. The only difference? They didn't quit. Today I'm going to walk you through the 5 brutal stages every trader must pass through before they reach consistent profitability. And trust me, once you understand where you are in this journey, everything changes. If you're currently struggling, if you're watching your account bleed, if you're questioning whether you'll ever make it, this video might just save your trading career. Let's get into it. Stage 1. Naive optimism, the honeymoon phase. Remember your first trade? I do. I was 14 years old working in a brokerage office and I made $5 on my first speculation. $5. Back then, that was real money for a kid like me. And you know what I thought? This is easy. I'm a natural. That's stage 1, naive optimism. This is where you first discover trading. Maybe you saw some guru on social media flashing their gains. Maybe you heard about someone who quit their job to trade full-time. Maybe you just stumbled across a YouTube video that made it look simple. And for a brief, beautiful moment, the market agrees with you. Your first few trades, they work. You buy, it goes up. You sell, you make money. The dopamine hits are incredible. You start calculating how much you'll make if you just keep this up. You're already mentally spending your millions. Here's what's happening in your brain during stage 1. You think you've discovered a secret. You think you're special. You think the market is giving you money because you're smart. You're not analyzing risk. You're not thinking about position sizing. You're not even really thinking about why you're winning. You're just winning. And that's all that matters. I remember those early days in the bucket shops. I'd watch the tape, make my calls, and boom, money. I thought I had a gift. I thought I could read the market like a book. And then reality showed up. Because here's the thing about stage 1. It's built on luck disguised as skill. The market was probably trending. Your positions were probably too small to hurt you. And most importantly, you hadn't yet encountered the market's true nature. But it's coming. You know what the most dangerous thing about stage 1 is? It gives you just enough confidence to bet bigger. Just enough success to make you think you can skip the hard parts. Just enough wins to set you up for what comes next. And what comes next is brutal. Stage 2, harsh reality. The awakening. This is where most traders' dreams go to die. Stage 2 hits you like a freight train you never saw coming. One day you're up, feeling invincible, already planning your next big move. The next day, you're watching your account implode in real time, and you have no idea why. Let me tell you about one of my harsh reality moments. After my early success in the bucket shops, I thought I was ready for the big leagues. I moved to New York, opened an account with a legitimate firm, and promptly got destroyed. Everything that worked in the bucket shop stopped working. Every move I made seemed wrong. I'd buy and the stock would drop. I'd sell and it would rally. It was like the market was personally targeting me. That's what stage 2 feels like. Personal. Here's what's actually happening. You're encountering real market conditions for the first time. Volatility, whipsaws, false breakouts, stop hunts, all the things that don't show up in the highlight reels. Your win rate plummets. Your losses start piling up. That confidence from stage 1, it evaporates faster than water in the desert. And this is where the real damage begins. Not just to your account, but to your psychology. You start revenge trading. You double down on losing positions because they have to bounce back. You jump from strategy to strategy, convinced that the next system will be the one that works. You buy courses, indicators, signals, anything that promises to stop the bleeding, but nothing works. Because you're not in a strategy problem. You're in a reality problem. You're learning that the market doesn't care about your bills, your dreams, or how badly you need this to work. The market just is. I've watched traders blow up entire accounts in stage 2. I've done it myself. You know what the cruelest part is? You still remember stage one. You still remember when this was easy, when you were winning, when you felt like a genius. But now you're questioning everything. Am I cut out for this? Is trading even real, or is it all just gambling? Did I get lucky before, or am I just unlucky now? These questions will haunt you. And if you're not careful, they'll make you quit right before the breakthrough. But here's what you need to understand. Stage two is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're learning. Every loss is data. Every mistake is feedback. Every moment of pain is the market teaching you what you actually need to know. The question is, will you listen? Stage three, frustration and anger, the crucible. Welcome to the crucible. This is the stage that separates the traders who make it from the ones who don't. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This stage breaks people. Stage three is where frustration turns into anger and anger turns into desperation. You've been losing for weeks, maybe months. You've tried everything you can think of. You've followed the rules, broken the rules, made new rules. Nothing is working. And you're angry. You're angry at the market for being unfair. You're angry at yourself for not figuring it out. You're angry at the winners who make it look easy. You're angry at everyone who told you trading was possible. I've been here more times than I care to admit. After my first bankruptcy, I was furious. I'd made millions and lost it all. I blamed the market manipulation. I blamed the panic of 1907. I blamed everyone but myself. And you know what all that anger got me? Nothing, except more losses. Here's what happens in stage three. Your emotions take over your trading. You're not making decisions based on analysis anymore. You're making them based on how you feel. You're trading to prove something, to get revenge on the market, to show everyone you're not a failure. Every losing trade makes you angrier. Every winning trade gives you false hope that you've figured it out, only to lose it all again. This is the stage where traders do the stupidest things. They go all in on one trade. They max out credit cards to fund accounts. They lie to their spouses about how much they've lost. They wake up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat checking their positions. I know, because I've done some of these things. The market becomes your obsession and your enemy all at once. You can't stop thinking about it, but every time you trade, you feel sick to your stomach. And here's the worst part. Stage three can last for years. Years of grinding, losing, learning the hard way. Years of feeling like you're so close to figuring it out, only to get knocked down again. Years of people asking you when you're going to get a real job. But here's what I learned after going broke 3 times. The anger is part of the process. You have to get angry enough at yourself to finally take responsibility. You have to get frustrated enough with losing to finally change your approach. You have to hit rock bottom to realize that the only way out is through. As I once said, there is nothing new in Wall Street. There can't be, because speculation is as old as the hills. Whatever happens in the stock market today has happened before and will happen again. That includes your losses, that includes your frustration, that includes this exact stage you're in right now. Every great trader has been where you are. They just didn't quit, and neither should you, because what comes next is where everything shifts. Stage 4, acceptance, the turning point. This is the stage where you stop fighting the market and start flowing with it. Acceptance doesn't come with a bang. It comes with a whisper. One day, after months or years of struggling, something clicks. You stop trying to predict what the market will do, and you start responding to what it's actually doing. You stop fighting your losses and start accepting them as part of the game. You stop blaming the market and start taking full responsibility for your results. This is the turning point. This is where traders are born. Let me tell you about my moment of acceptance. After my 3rd bankruptcy, I had nothing left. No money, no reputation. Just the lessons I'd learned from losing everything 3 separate times. And you know what I realized? The market had never been my enemy. My ego was. All those times I thought I knew better than the market? Wrong. All those times I held on to losing positions because I couldn't admit I was wrong? Deadly. All those times I traded based on hope instead of evidence? expensive lessons. In stage 4, you finally understand what all the trading books actually mean. Those phrases you read 100 times suddenly make sense because you've lived them. A long time without a break. A long time. Cut your losses short and let your winners run. You've now lost enough money holding losers to know why this matters. The trend is your friend. You've now fought enough trends to understand that the market is bigger than your opinions. Trade what you see, not what you think. You've now been wrong enough times to realize that your analysis means nothing if the market disagrees. This is where you develop your trading system, not by copying someone else's, but by understanding what actually works for your personality and risk tolerance. You start keeping a journal. You start reviewing your trades objectively. You start treating trading like a business instead of a casino. Your position sizes get smaller. Your expectations get more realistic. Your emotions get more controlled. And something interesting happens. You start having winning days. Not because you're luckier, but because you're smarter. Not because the market changed, but because you did. The wins aren't as exciting as they used to be in stage 1, but the losses don't devastate you like they did in stage 2 and 3. You're starting to understand that trading is a probability game, not a certainty game. You accept that you'll lose on 40, 50, maybe 60% of your trades, and that's okay, as long as you manage the risk and let the winners cover the losers. This is the stage where you stop trying to be right and start trying to be profitable. And that's a huge difference. I always say, it never was my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting. That's stage 4 in a nutshell. You learn patience. You learn to wait for your setups. You learn that doing nothing is often the best trade you can make. But here's the thing about stage 4. You're not profitable yet. You might be breaking even. You might be having more winning weeks than losing weeks. But you're not consistently profitable month after month. That takes one more stage. Stage 5. Mastery. The professional. This is it. The stage every trader dreams of reaching. But let me be clear, mastery doesn't mean you never lose. It means you've mastered yourself. Stage 5 is where trading becomes boring, and I mean that in the best possible way. The emotional roller coaster is gone. The excitement of wins and the devastation of losses, flattened. You're consistent because you're disciplined. You're profitable because you're patient. You have a system, and you trust it. You have rules, or, as I prefer to call them, guidelines, and you follow them. You know your edge, and you exploit it, without overtrading. This is where I finally ended up after years of pain, after the losses, the bankruptcies, the humiliation. I developed my approach to reading the tape, understanding market psychology, and, most importantly, managing myself. In stage 5, you realize that the market is just providing opportunities. It's not out to get you. It's not rigged against you. It's just a mechanism for transferring money from the impatient to the patient, from the emotional to the disciplined. You start making money consistently, not every day, not every week, but over months and years. Your equity curve slopes upward. Your friends and family stop questioning your career choice. You stop questioning it yourself. But here's what's interesting about stage 5. The more you master trading, the more you realize how much there is still to learn. The market is constantly evolving, and so must you. I made and lost fortunes multiple times, even after reaching what others would call mastery. Why? Because I got complacent. Because I thought I'd figured it all out. Because I forgot that the market is always teaching, and we must always be learning. The traders who stay in stage 5 are the ones who remain humble, who keep learning, who never stop respecting the market. You develop what I call market wisdom. It's not just about technical analysis or fundamental analysis. It's about understanding human nature, mass psychology, and the patterns that emerge from fear and greed. You can feel when a market is getting toppy. You can sense when panic is overdone. Not because you have some magical power, but because you've seen it play out hundreds of times before. Your trading becomes less about excitement and more about execution. Less about proving something and more about earning something. Less about being right and more about being profitable. And here's the beautiful part. Once you reach stage 5, trading actually becomes enjoyable again. Not in the manic, dopamine-fueled way of stage 1, but in a calm, confident, sustainable way. You're a professional now. This is your craft. And like any craftsman, you take pride in doing it well. But let me give you a warning. Stage 5 is not the end. You can slip back. You can get overconfident and blow up. You can forget the lessons that got you here. The only way to stay in stage 5 is to remember where you came from, to remember the pain of stage 2 and 3, to remember the humility of stage 4. As I learned the hard way, losing all your money is better than losing all your nerve. Never lose your respect for the market. The moment you do, it will humble you again, the path forward. So there you have it. The 5 brutal stages every trader passes through. And the way through may lie in pain, but not suffering. Because the pain will also be a pity, a purpose. Stage 1, naive optimism, where you think it's easy. Stage 2, harsh reality, where you discover it's not. Stage 3, frustration and anger, where you almost quit. Stage 4, acceptance, where you finally get it. Stage 5, mastery, where you become the trader you always wanted to be. Now here's the question you're probably asking. Where am I in this journey? If you're in stage 1, enjoy it, but stay humble. Your real education is coming. If you're in stage 2, don't quit. This is temporary. Every losing trade is a lesson if you're willing to learn from it. If you're in stage 3, I see you. I've been there. The anger you feel is valid, but it's also holding you back. The breakthrough is closer than you think, but you have to let go of the ego first. If you're in stage 4, congratulations, you're on the right path. Stay focused, stay disciplined, consistency is coming. If you're in stage 5, never forget how you got there. Stay humble, keep learning. The market always has more to teach. Here's what I want you to understand. This journey is not linear. You might move through stages quickly, or you might get stuck in one for years. You might even slip backward before moving forward again. But every single profitable trader has walked this exact path. Some faster, some slower, but everyone pays their dues. The market doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your bills or your dreams. But it will reward patience, discipline, and the willingness to learn from your mistakes. I've made millions, lost millions, and made them back again. And every single time, I had to walk through these stages. The lessons I learned in my losses were more valuable than the money I made in my wins. Trading is not about getting rich quick. It's about getting rich slowly and sustainably. It's about becoming the type of person who can handle success when it comes. So if you're struggling right now, if you're in the middle of the storm, if you're questioning whether you'll ever make it, don't quit. Not yet. Not when you're this close to the breakthrough. Every great trader has a moment where they almost quit. The difference between them and everyone else? They didn't. Keep going, keep learning, keep improving. The trader you're becoming is worth the pain you're enduring right now. If this video helped you, if you saw yourself in any of these stages, do me a favor. Share it with another trader who needs to hear this. We're all in this together, fighting the same battles, learning the same lessons. And remember, the market will still be here tomorrow. Take care of yourself, protect your capital, and most importantly, protect your mind. I'll see you in the next one. Keep trading and keep learning.